people do sly things because we got a couple of channels, and there's an Arsenal channel and a Man U channel as part of our whole thing, and then they just they left a dirty thing. They left the Arsenal avatar when I was on live stream, and I pressed the thing.
Jesus,
yeah,
can't be having that at all. But welcome back, guys. Got some familiar faces actually. I think there's no debutants at all, which is always nice. But guys, introduce yourself.
I'm gonna start.
Go for it, Sam.
Yes. Sam Spurs for Life, Paxton Road TV. Thank you very much for having me back on this channel. Always love coming on here. Don't come on here enough, but I'm here now, and hopefully to do a regular thing. But check this out. Subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever you do on this channel right about now. That's what you got to do. Nice one, Sam. Thank you. Tanya?
Yeah, I'm just Tans. You can catch me on Twitter, catch me on Never a Foul, Views from the Skywalk. And I've also got my own podcast with my boys. We'll talk about that later. That is what it's called, by the way, because I know people get confused. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to come on Bigsixbants. So yeah, thanks for having me on again.
Thank you very much. Cal?
Yeah, obviously the Twitter handle is down there. Usually I'm on Views from the Skywalk on Never a Foul. Been taking a bit of break since Nuno's come in. Not really been trying to talk about results, but now that Conte is here, Tottenham's back, I'm back, we're all back. Yeah, I'm happy to be here, bro. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, guys. But yeah, just generally, again, one more time, just thanks for coming on. We'll go straight into it. Everton game wasn't too great, if we're being honest. I feel like my expectations for Tottenham were quite high. Quite a crazy game on last week Thursday, where there was 3 red cards.
I was at that game. I watched
that
live. Yeah, I went to the game. Crazy game. I mean, it was entertaining. I mean, it was so funny because someone was so drunk they actually fell over into the crowd as well. And you had all the Spurs fans with their Italian flags. It was a great atmosphere, but yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it was a crazy game, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
I feel like that kind of mood was needed as well.
Definitely.
But generally on Thursday, I'd say the one positive that I can see I think that was our first clean sheet since game week 3, maybe. We had no shots on target, but
yeah, I just think that obviously Conte's coming now. Every interview that I've seen, he's done about 3 or 4 interviews. All he keeps saying is, got a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
There's a lot of work to do.
I like it though. It's honest.
Yeah, it's honest.
Nuno was saying,
Nuno weren't saying shit. All Nuno kept saying is, we want to just support the players. Support what? Some of them players don't need support. Some of them players just need to be dashed out or just get ragdolled. They need to be ragdolled or dashed out. And I think that's what Conte is going to do. He's either going to dash them out or he's going to ragdoll them. And that's what we need. People can't just be, we've looked at some of these players. We've said for a number of years now, some of these are not good enough. But the funny thing is, I've been absolutely on Ben Davies's case. I've been on Sanchez's case. And they've actually looked all right playing for him so far. So it's weird.
I've loved his interview so far. Like Callum said, it's just honesty. Like, that's what I appreciate. For me, I really hate when managers just come out and chat so much rubbish about how they're happy with the team and everything. You could tell he's not happy, Nuno. Like, bloody hell, the guy became our manager and he looked done already. Like, I can't lie. I felt no attachment to Nuno. And I always feel that with a manager. Even at Jose in the beginning, when he was appointed, I was excited. Nuno, I wasn't excited. But what do you expect? He was like 10th choice manager, right? But he just filled me with absolutely no confidence. And to me, it was no surprise that these players looked so awful on the pitch. But when you've got a manager like Conte come in, I'm mesmerised by him. It's those blue eyes, man.
The blue eyes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Antonio. Yeah,
100%.
Antonio.
I hated Nuno's interviews when he's talking about, we've got enough creative players and we have this.
Yeah.
We have that. Whereas Conte's comment,
nonsense.
obviously I'm paraphrasing, but he said something along the lines of he can see the club's ambition off the pitch, but he wants to see it on the pitch.
Yeah.
And that's what the fans have been thinking.
Music to my ears.
Levy and the stadium and boxing events and all these things. Yeah, it's great generating revenue for the club. Whether or not that's going to go into the team, who knows? But that's all well and good. But what we want to see is ambition on the pitch. And the fact that Conte recognises that and is vocal about it shows that he's definitely the man for the job. I'm happy he's here. I don't expect things to change overnight, though. I think rival fans are putting more expectations on us than we are. I'm not expecting top 4 this season. I'm not really expecting anything. Just January, I want to see him get rid of the players that he doesn't want. I want to see him given enough money to bring in the players that he wants, and I'll fully back him.
Yeah, I just like the fact as well, like he's just come in and he's already implemented his philosophy. And that's what I struggled with Nuno. I didn't know the system he was trying to play. I didn't know what style we were trying to play. With Conte, he's coming, he's like, right, back 3, wing backs. Like there's a system already, and that's what I'm loving. Obviously, it's going to take time, like Callum said. And there are players that I don't think are that good enough for his system. Like I know we've said Ben Davies has played all right so far, but I'm sure he'd be looking for another left-footed centre-back, I presume. So it's just, it's going to be a slow process. It's not going to be easy for him. I think we need the January transfer window to come. But yeah, I'm just buzzing. I'm so gassed that we've got him as manager.
Yeah.
For me though, if you look at teams like West Ham, I know they've had David Moyes for a little while now, but one of the first things that he came in, because West Ham notoriously were low on the running stats, and obviously at the moment we're probably the bottom of that running stats, which means the effort from the players just wasn't there. Nuno wasn't the right fit. I'm going to defend Nuno just a little bit. There was talk about that he's been away from his family. It's in Portugal for the last X amount of months over the COVID period. He's some reports to say that he was, suffering a little bit, maybe a little bit of mental health, depression, whatever.
Oh no, don't say that. Oh no.
No, seriously, this is what I've heard. So again, I'm just trying to put it out there because you don't know. These things affect everybody. And I know notoriously a lot of managers spend a lot of time away from home. Jose was famously living in a hotel when he was at Manchester and all the rest of that sort of stuff. So it happens. But do you know what I'm saying? I just don't think Nuno was ever going to get the respect that was commanded from, like I said, having had people like Jose Mourinho, and then you go to Nuno, not being our first choice manager. Yeah. All the players knew that. We as fans knew that. So I was like, you know what? Just give him a chance. But 4 months, at least the club recognised that it weren't working. Yeah. Whether or not it was a little bit of a deal already done and Conte wanted to take a break and they was going to bring him in at some point, maybe so. But I'm so glad he's here. So glad.
Yeah, I do feel sorry for Nuno. 100% agree with you, Sam. But in terms of the players, I feel like there's generally a lift around the club now. I know you guys definitely feel it. I noticed a lot of, not even one single Tottenham player said farewell to Nuno. I know he's there for only like 4 months or something, but
not one.
That's a bit crazy.
But I think even his statement that he's put out, I don't know if you guys have seen it.
He was hurt.
He's a bit salty,
Is he salty? I've not read it. What's he said?
He said I won Player of the Month a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Like it was an accolade.
Bro, it wasn't even deserved. You played well against City. We was rubbish the other 2 games. Managed to scrape wins, and you got Manager of the Month. But come on, bro, that's not an accolade.
No, it was the emoji at the end. It was like, that hand emoji. It was just very sarcastic, like, thanks for your support.
Oh shit! I didn't realize if we put it out Instagram or something. I didn't.
Yeah. He put something out. But
hey, that's another thing though. Why do managers have Instagram? Ban it.
Yeah. You know what?
I love Mourinho's Instagram.
Jose started that.
I don't want to see my manager on Instagram for what?
Yeah. I mean, Conte's on Instagram. I follow him. So.
Yeah, I'm not following him, bro. I want to see man stories in Hakkasan, bro. Like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think there's too much to talk about the Everton game, but what do you think about the lack of creativity? You feel like he didn't help himself with Tanguy not being in the lineup or something, or I don't know, Tanguy, he brought on Doherty for Reguilon. Reguilon had a poor game.
Yeah, he did.
He brought on Doherty left wing back. Doherty actually looked decent. I can't lie to you. He actually looked all right.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know about
you know his Doherty standards are so low that when he has an average game...
I was going to say the same thing.
It's the same with Winks, his 10-minute cameo on Thursday. Yeah. Everyone said he was great because we're so used to him being abysmal.
Mate, there was compilations after that, and I was like, seriously, look who we're playing. Do you know what I mean? Calm down. But go on, Sam, he's going to say something.
No, we have to look at that Everton game. Everton they'd lost the last 3. They hadn't won in 4. They'd drawn the game before that. So they were there for the taking. The thing is, though, I watched the game, and I obviously reviewed the game as well. You could see there's different patterns of play now. There's actual patterns of play in the game. You could see certain things. But in the final third, our passing was absolutely atrocious. It was abysmal.
Terrible.
Do you know, there was some passes that like 5-10 yard passes that were being played either too far in front or just behind players, and it wasn't allowing us to create them opportunities. Everything in terms of the build-up, or quite a lot of the build-up, was quite good. And I saw, right, this is good. But then when in the final third, Harry Kane is just, it's like, I don't know. And I'm doing a show tomorrow just to see whether or not Conte would even consider dropping him. Because at the moment, I just think if we play, Nuno was going to play Son up top. That's how I think he was geared up to play Son up top and maybe two others either side of him. Harry Kane's he's got no excuse now. Obviously, I know he wanted to go in the summer, but he's got the world-class manager that he's always said, right, this is what the ambition of the club. If you don't play for this guy now, he'll bench him. I don't care what anybody says. Conte will bench him, and we'll see what happens.
Do you know
in the
what?
next
If
few
he
weeks.
does, I'm not gonna dispute that, because I've had it up to here with Kane now a little bit. I understand he didn't get his move, but for me, you're a Tottenham Hotspur player, and I think you need to start putting the effort in. Obviously, he did look a little bit better. I don't think the passing was perfect, but I think the standards for Kane this season have been so low that him having a decent-ish performance, it seems like he's played well. But yeah, I just think he needs to pull his socks up now, because we've got a top-class manager that's come in. You know, start showing a bit of effort, because I actually think Son's game's been affected as well. Like, look at the chemistry they had last season. This season, I just think they're both so off it. Like, especially Son in the past, like 2 or 3 games. I don't think he's looked quite at it, but yeah, I just hope Conte can get them both firing, because yeah, we just don't look like scoring. I'll be honest, we just don't. And it's the final third, no creativity. Yeah, I don't know. It's a problem that Conte's got to solve, but it's quite a difficult one, really. I feel like it can't get solved right now unless we have the January transfer window.
I agree that Son's been off it, but he's still contributing. Kane's not contributing nothing.
Yeah,
I think Son's got 4 goals in the league this season. Kane, I don't even know how many shots on target Kane's had, if any.
Do you guys think it's a more tactical thing, or you think it's confidence, or I think we can all admit his head's not there 100%. But
I was saying yesterday on a stream, and I had to actually think about it a little bit. So obviously over the summer they played a lot of games. So he was heavily involved in the England thing. Obviously got to the final, didn't win it. That's probably a draining of energy. So if you think about the players that played quite a lot in that Euros from England's perspective, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, Raheem Sterling, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, none of them have really hit the heights this season. Is that a bit of fatigue? Is that a bit of disappointment? All that mixed in, and with Harry Kane not getting his move, his levels have just dropped in terms of his mental levels, his physical levels. That could be a factor, but still, not to have any shots on target. I'd be taking pot shots from about 50 yards from me. I mean, if I was just wanted to get a shot on target, he's not even doing that. So I don't know whether or not it's a confidence thing. I would hate to say that's a confidence thing with Harry Kane, but it could be. It could just be a lack of energy, lack of confidence, and the world's on his shoulders at the moment.
I also think it's the whole team, because I watched Match of the Day and I saw Mika Richards, he was talking about it, and he showed like snippets of us just playing so deep. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's like the Jose effect still, but for me, we just look a bit, I don't know, cautious is the right word. We just don't look like we want to get into the box, don't look like we want to create. It's very passive, like pass the ball sideways. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I feel like it's a mixture of all that. You're right, Tanya, by the way. I'd say it's a contribution of the Mourinho effect, you know, the hangover. Look at Man United. Oli had to come in, lift the morale. These guys, they were so built into, you know, playing for shape and, you know, structure, Mourinho. But I don't know. I feel like Conte's got a bigger job on his hands than we actually think. Obviously, the personnel.
My God, it's massive.
Yeah, personnel's huge. But also just generally the style of play, players being attack-minded, being forward-thinking. And I feel like you just have to play Tanguy. That's in all of this. It's like he can't help himself. You just got to dash in Tanguy in there.
So with a two-man midfield, I can't take another manager slapping him on the bench.
I don't want to see that.
That's
Mason
fact. So
benched him, Nuno benched him. I can't have another manager do this to my guy when he's our best midfielder.
But there must be something in it, Callum. There must be something in his work ethic or something. Because I think with the system that Conte's at the moment playing, with the 3-4-3, we can't have Skip and Højbjerg and expect them to be the creators. So we either go to like a 3-4-1-2, do you know what I mean? Where we get at least somebody in that 10 position, and maybe the two up front could be Son and Kane, and then you can afford to have Kane maybe drop back somebody one. Even if Dele Alli was to come back to half the play he was, you know, I'm scratching here. You know what I mean? I am scratching here, but I'm trying to at least give Dele a bit of a chance. You know what I mean? But I don't think we're ever going to see that Dele Alli again. But if the formation was right to get that 3-4-1-2, maybe that little bit of creation in there could help. And that's ideal for Tanguy. But somebody's got to unlock him. And Conte, if anybody's going to be able to do it, it's got to be him.
But to be honest, I did hear that Skip can't play the next game. So it might force his hand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if he got like a yellow.
Watch him play Winks. Watch him start Winks.
Didn't Conte want Tanguy?
He'll play Winks and Højbjerg. He will.
He did want him at Inter, yeah. But you're right, Callum. You might play Winks, you know.
I guarantee he plays Winks and Højbjerg. I can feel it.
Jesus Christ.
But if it was
no, hold on, though. But I think I think they've got 2 weeks. Obviously, now it's 2 weeks for the international break. There's a list of players that are definitely not gone. Tanguy's one of them. Skip's another one. Winks is another one. You got Dye. There's quite a few players that ain't going to be on international duty. So there's enough time for Conte to actually judge some of these players properly, if he hasn't already, and maybe formulate some way of getting the creative. He's not stupid. He knows we need creativity. So the only creative players that we got, if you think about it, Tanguy, Lo Celso, if you want to call him that.
We need to talk about him.
We do need to talk about him. Yeah. We got Brian Hill. We got, who else is there? Mora, if you want to put him in that creative physics. So we're lacking in real creativity. I've got to see my man Tanguy. Like you said, Callum, he's got to be the one for me.
100%.
But yeah, Lo Celso, yeah. Oh, go on, Ethan. We'll get on to it. That could be a whole topic.
Agree with you. It's a whole topic. That's a 20-30 minute debate. Trust me.
Easy.
Honestly.
I was going to say, 100%. I was going to say, I feel like Kane, he's not ignorant in it. So he knows all of this. I feel like we can't criticize Kane when he's dropping deep and trying to create when, if he doesn't do it, who's going to do it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, we all want to see Kane at the end of the ball or in the box, in the final third. But if the ball's not getting to him, what's he going to do?
That's why the commentators were saying we need like a Kane to Kane. Like we need another Kane, pretty much. I like that one.
Honestly. I was having an interesting conversation on another stream the other day, and someone was saying that they think that's just how Kane likes to play in terms of dropping. Like, I understand that we ain't got no creative players. He feels like he has to drop deep and create chances for other people. But when we was watching England in the Euros, he was doing the same thing when there wasn't really any need to do that. So maybe that's just how we've become accustomed to play these days. If it was up to me, I would like to see him play in the 10. And if we do sign that, Vlahovic, sign him and play him and Son up front together, Kane in the 10. For me, that's beautiful.
That's deadly.
Whether or not we got the money for him, whether he'll come to us or whatever, is a whole other topic. But in the ideal world, that's what I'd love to see.
But don't you guys want to see Kane actually just in the? I know. We like.
I don't want to see Kane. I don't want to see him, bro. I've had enough of it.
Wow, that's bad.
You gotta get used to it.
I'm not going to disrespect him too much, but the way the guy's been moving the last 8 weeks, I've had enough.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Taking a piss, bro. Like,
it's painful to see. Yeah,
it's very painful to see. But again, I'm trying to play a little bit of devil's advocate with what I said earlier about the maybe the fatigue, the loss of form because of obviously not getting his move and all the rest of it. But there's no way, as I said, I think they were saying some stat. The last shot that we had on target was in the 44th minute of the West Ham game. Do you know what I mean? So there's something not right. I don't care what team you are, you must be able to get a shot on target in 2.5 games. Come on now.
That's not even down to the manager.
Wait, is it actually like? It's actually hard to believe. Is this genuine?
Yeah, that's genuine. That's genuine.
Real.
That's genuine.
When you actually think of it, I couldn't tell you the last time we had a shot. I actually couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't.
That's in the league, though. Obviously, we won the Vitesse game, but I'm talking about in the league. You know what I mean? So that's our bread and butter now. Conte's got to sort something out to get Harry Kane function. We all know that. He's got to somehow find a way of playing that's going to suit the players that we've got until we can get to January. So that's the puzzle that he's got to do. And it's not an easy puzzle because a few managers have tried and not got success out of it.
And the thing is, I'm seeing Conte on the sidelines telling man push up all game. All game he's telling man push up. So it's not like he's instructing the players to drop deep and not go forward and create chances. Clearly he's telling them otherwise.
So maybe it's a player issue as well, because this is the thing. I tweeted this. If there's any players that do not want to get on board the Conte train, please just jump off. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it because I do think a lot of these players, they need to take some responsibility as well. Because as much as I didn't like Jose, weren't a fan of Nuno, you have to feel for them in a way because some of these same players are still here. And if they're not pulling their weight, yeah, we need to get rid of some of these players. And that's including Lo Celso. I'm sorry, I can't. I've been itching to just
Are we going
rant
to talk about him?
All right, big up Sid.
We're going to
Yeah,
talk about
big
him.
up Sid. I wish Sid was on right now because he
You
would understand. He would
know what Sid's
understand.
like?
I cannot stand this player. I just cannot. I cannot believe.
That corner. That
We
I
corner
was
was
just
say-
about to say
a final straw, bro. What is that?
50
Did you
million.
also what game was it? Was it the game events?
The
where's
Vitesse game
The
as well.
one-on-one,
He
the
had
one-on-one with the keeper.
the one-on-one? Yeah, when he
Oh.
kicked.
Strong foot.
How
On his
hard
strong
is it to
foot.
kick out a keeper's head?
Getting ridiculous.
Do you know what I mean? That's his most difficult skill I've seen.
Do you know
But
what
he
someone
aimed it
said?
at. Oh man.
He's actually allergic to the goal. I'm convinced. He's allergic to it. He must
He
be.
used to play Cam, did he? He used to play Cam
Bro, he
for
was bagging goals for
Betis.
Betis.
Why
He
is
was
it always
very
they
good
come to
banging
us and
goals.
they're not bagging? Why is that?
Nah, man.
It's
All
a
I
quicker
hear,
league. It's not cut out for
all
him.
I
He's
hear
not that guy.
is he's good for Argentina.
Shit,
They're like,
man.
Argentina, not in his first shirt. He's awful. Oh my god! I just
See next season, yeah. If he stays, we might have to get a new stripy third shirt or whatever and just hope that improves him.
yeah.
Literally.
Because in Tottenham kits, he's not doing it.
I don't know, man. If it was me,
wow.
I'd be cutting. I mean, it's the amount of money. I wouldn't mind if we paid like a 20 million for it, but we paid a lot of money for this guy. Do you know what I mean?
I'm paying him a lot of money per week as well. So don't forget.
Yeah, paying him a lot of money per week, and he's just not cutting it. I mean, I know he's not had a
So
consistent run of
one-footed as
games,
well.
but goodness me,
Typical
that corner
Tottenham.
though.
He's
That
Lamella.
corner.
He's actually Lamella.
I think he's worse than Lamella.
He's
I'm not
He's
gonna lie.
busy, you know. He's
And I was like you said, he was playing. He was kind of like the left-sided midfielder in the free for Betis, and he looked like, yeah, this player can play. And I was thinking he's the closest thing that I'd seen to maybe the Christian Eriksen player that we're looking. Tanga's a different type of player. Tanga's like a schoolboy footballer, but he's got so much tricks and ability that he can beat anybody. He can beat 2 or 3 players.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, Lo Celso looked like he had that threaded ball. He could play with big. And I've seen him do it a few times, a little chip over the top, whatever it is. But at the moment, the corner, like you said, that corner was the last 92nd
You don't
minute.
even see that in Sunday League.
The ball in the box, we had an opportunity. The man can't even get it into the. Oh man, don't let me start on that, man. No.
Just it annoyed me so much.
We went for him over Bruno, you know. That's what's crazy.
The
Typical
worst.
Tottenham.
Absolutely.
Spurs for you. Spurs for you.
Oh dear.
But yeah, generally, what about in terms of Conte? So obviously he's lifted the squad quite a bit. You know, we're all very, very excited. Lots of players have come out and said they're excited as well. You know, he's improved the training sessions. What would you guys say would be a realistic objective for this season?
Ooh.
You know, let's say we give him January. January's around the corner. What would be a realistic finish for Conte?
Fifth, I
Fifth,
think
yeah?
is our best case scenario. Yeah, I would like to see us go far in the Conference League. I can see us getting. I can see us losing the final to Jose's Roma. But I would like to see a Carabao Cup. We've got the quarterfinals against West Ham coming up. Anyhow, we get a meaty team like Arsenal in the semi-finals. We could be in the final with that. Even though Arsenal have been doing that.
They're not meaty right now.
They've been doing all right, but in the long term, I don't really respect them. But yeah, a cup run, 5th place finish, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I think that's fair, but it all depends. You know, if we get some decent players in January, which, you know, I'm a bit doubtful of that because we don't typically do that. And, you know, we get on a good run, and it all depends on the other teams as well. Obviously, West Ham, they look good right now. And Man United, obviously, I personally still think they'll sack Oli. So if they do and they get a top manager in, top 4 cemented. So I don't think we're in a conversation for top 4. But yeah, I think 5th or 6th. And if we get far into the Conference League, and look, I don't see why we can't win a League Cup. I genuinely don't. Like, these are knockout games. Anything can happen. I would go for one of those competitions and, yeah, just 5th place, and then we just build from there, because it's not going to be a quick fix. That things are not just going to improve magically overnight by getting Conte in. Yes, he's a top manager, but he still needs the tools to, you know, get us back to where we want to be. So yeah, I think 5th, ideally a cup. I'd love us to win a trophy, but
our best player needs to turn up for any of this to happen. Like, he needs to actually get his ass on the pitch.
100%. I still think he should be aiming for top 4. The reason I say that, if you think about it, Chelsea, Man Man City, Liverpool, that's probably going to be the top three. We're in a shout with, at the moment, we're 6 points off top four. I know Liverpool are in fourth at the moment. They're 1 point behind West Ham. So we're 7 points behind West Ham. That's not insurmountable if we can get the players playing, because there's going to be, we've seen already West Ham beating Liverpool. We've seen, Burnley drawing with Chelsea. There's going to be results like that. All it will be is Conte just needs to get these guys running firstly, get them running, get them working hard. Once he gets that going, I think he'll find the pieces to make the team. Because I think the wing backs now, if I look at Reguilon and Emerson, I'm liking that. I'm liking what I see in that. So if that's the way he's going to play with them two, great. The midfield, he's got to get the creativity in there, but I like what I see in Skip. And obviously, Højbjerg can do a job. He's been doing that. He might be a bit tired as well. But just get that forward line. Get that forward, that final third sorted out. And once we start scoring goals, the defense, I think, will take care of itself. But it's scoring goals. We need to get goals scoring again.
Yeah.
Like Sam said, I'm liking the attacking fullbacks, but I don't understand Spurs fans. Because you see Emerson, I don't understand the hype. Like, he's going forward and he's whipping bare crosses into the box, but with no target at the end of it. I played football enough to know what a hit and hope cross is. And that's all he does. There's no player at the end of his crosses. He'll get to the edge of the box and whip one in with his eyes closed. And that's what we saw Aurier doing when we first signed him. Aurier learned how to pass before he left.
This guy, he's an Aurier fan.
Oh yeah, Emerson, this and that, Emerson Royal, Chicken Royal, King Emerson, whatever. I don't get that. Man's just crossing blindly, and we're bigging him up.
Harsh today, boy.
Yeah, that is a bit hard.
Bro, even like his cutback, there's a man 5-6 yards away from you, he's cutting it back, and he's just going into defenders. Like, there's no target for the end of his crosses. And I feel like I'm the only one that's seeing it.
I definitely agree.
Man, you're harsh today, man. What's going on?
What's going on? Passionate about it.
Callum, I agree with you still. I agree with you 100%.
No one else is seeing it, bro. Like, everyone's just bigging him up.
He's done well. I think people are obviously getting a little bit excited, but I've liked the look of him so far.
I think he's good on the eye, like he can dribble. That's what I'd say, he can dribble, which Aurier couldn't do, by the way. So it's an improvement in that.
Tell Callum that. Tell Callum. He's like his bloody biggest fan.
Callum, I don't know what you saw there, honestly, man. But
no, I like Emerson. I think, he started off a little bit ropey, but again, you got to think about it. He's only been here X amount of months now. He's still got to settle in. I don't know how much English he speaks. Maybe that's one of the reasons for Dyer being in the back. For a lot of people saying that Dyer speaking Portuguese, maybe they've got a Spanish thing. So, Romero, and you got Dyer who can communicate with him, and obviously Reguilon, again, another Spanish speaker. Maybe that's one of the aspects. But the last couple of games, I've been impressed with him. And I think you're right in what you're saying. His end ball can be improved. Oh, he's gone. That's how much you don't want to talk about Emerson. He's had enough of Emerson already. So, but yeah, he just needs to. He needs to improve that final ball. But I like what I see from the few games where he has improved. And something, if he can keep that going, and notoriously Conte has improved wing backs. Victor Moses being a prime example, wasn't even a wing back and made him into what he did at Chelsea. So I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like he does add another dimension, 100%. In terms of Reguilon, I feel like they're complete opposite in a sense where Emerson's got a slight bit more composure. However, Reguilon's final ball is, I feel like people sleep on it, It's actually top notch. Like, he can pick out his man. Yeah, 100%.
He needs to do more for me, Reguilon, I think, going forward, personally.
I was going to say, sorry, Tans. I just think Reguilon, there's a couple of times when I watched him that he did one thing where he just kicked the ball off. He was on the touchline. Just kicked it off. I was like, there was nobody near you, no pressure. That sort of thing to me, I don't accept that. That's what I'm saying. That to me is just like, it's either, what is it, lack of concentration? You're a professional footballer. You shouldn't just kick the ball off. And Celso's done that a couple of times as well. No, man, that for me is not good enough.
What's that boy not done, honestly?
Who's this? Sorry, who are we talking about?
Reguilon.
Oh, yeah, he's sorry, I just want to finish my last point on Emerson because I don't know what happened there. But I just want to say, I'm not saying he's not it. I'm not trying to get onto the guy. It's purely the crosses that I don't understand. I'm not saying that he's not going to come good for us or he's not going to fit the system. Like Sam was saying, it's early days. He's only played like 3-4 games. But yeah. Sorry.
I can't knock that. No, but with Reggie, I feel like generally within the Tottenham fan base, I see a lot of stuff on Twitter. People rip into him, but I think he's good. I'm a big fan of him. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like the stuff he does bad. He gets exploited, and it's almost enhanced. But the stuff he does good, I feel like in a sense he's been one of our most creative players this season. Like
He's very erratic though. Like his touch is so baggy. And man just
he
like, you know,
is.
he looks on the floor every time he runs.
He is, and sometimes his decision making in the final third isn't great either. But in terms of ability, he can pick out a great cross. Look how many times he's found Kane's head, or he's put it in a great area.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That is true, actually.
He's definitely a player that can improve. Like you can see the good qualities in him, and you know that he can get better under the right manager. And Conte with his attacking fullbacks, I feel like he's a perfect manager for Regulon.
But do you know who else? Sorry, because I wanted to mention Skip as well, because I saw a piece on the Spurs Express Twitter, and it was like Conte really liked Skip, and I actually thought he was man of the match, you know. But I just, my concern is he the answer going forward? I don't know, but I do like Skip, and I think he'll be a big miss actually in that Leeds game, because I don't know, Højbjerg, I think he's actually been better than Højbjerg this season.
He has been this season so far, and again, I put that down to Højbjerg playing all the games last season, all the games through the Euros, and playing all the games so far this season as well.
It showed, yeah.
It's got to show. It's got to show. He's human. With the Skip thing, what I like about Skip is he looks comfortable in the games. Do you know what I mean? You don't see him do. He's not like massively influential, but what he does it right. He doesn't give the ball away very often. He's tenacious.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got an eye for a pass, definitely, more so than Højbjerg. So, again, he's 20 years old. So give him the time, give him the manager that he's got now. There's only good things that can happen. And Jose said that about him as well. Jose said, this guy is going to be a future Tottenham captain.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a great ball winner as well, 100%. I feel like him and Højbjerg do complement each other, but it's just too negative. Yeah, that's the word. Too negative. Like, put maybe a Christian Eriksen or Philippe Coutinho Prime there in front of him, and I can't lie, that person's, they don't have to worry about what's behind them. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But yeah, I feel like another person that's being slept on is Lucas Moura as well. I feel like he's having quite a good season.
Frustrating in that game.
I think his decision making is something he needs to work on though.
Like, that's always been his problem, yeah.
He's very good at beating a few man and his little intricate little dribbles, but when it comes time to pick a good pass now or whether or not to shoot, that's when he just seems to overthink things and make the wrong decision all the time.
Yeah.
So that's something that can be coached. But I mean, he's been here for years and he's not improved on it.
Don't get me wrong. I like Lucas. I'm not going to diss Lucas because I do like him. But again, we're looking at Lucas because he's been the best of a bad bunch. When he was playing on that right-hand side, he'd get himself just running into dead alleys, whatever it was, dead ends, whatever. You put him in the middle, he's still, I don't even know if he knows what he's doing sometimes, but you'll get past the player and it's like, okay, I'll pass the player. Now what do I do? It's just, I think he's an impact player. If we had a better, somebody who's got a little bit more composure, I like the way he beats players. But then once you've beaten that player, sometimes it's like, oh, I beat him one, I'm going to beat another. And then he gets tackled.
That
is
that
power league thing. It's a power league thing. Yeah.
Power league, for real.
They'll skill a couple man. Like, oh, I can take on the next man. Then they lose the ball. And you're looking at him like, why you didn't even need to do that.
Power league, for real.
Doesn't know when to release it. 100%.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, just generally, I feel like kind of actually I saw you tweet about it. Romero. We've got a gem there. We really do. And I feel like
Did I tweet that?
Yeah. Actually, I don't know, did you?
No, I don't think he did, you know.
I got my
He's a Romero hater as well.
I think you tweeted the complete opposite, but I don't get why. Because Romero's
what is Callum on? What are you on, Callum, anyway? Why are you getting in the place?
What's going on?
What's going on?
No, the thing is,
the standards are high.
People take it as negativity. It's that I feel like the majority of the Spurs fan base, their expectations are so low that a player does the bare minimum in one game, and all of a sudden they're the best player to have walked on the pitch. And then see someone like me, I see that, and then immediately I feel the complete opposite about them. Like after Romero's first game, man was saying, "Yeah, this is what we needed, genuine midfield." I'm seeing my centre back, my big, strong, £50 million centre back diving 3 times against West Ham. You think I want to see my centre back rolling on the floor like he's a techie
that's
winger?
The type of defender he is, man. That's the type of defender I'd say.
You know
He's aggressive.
He's our best centre back. He's the best of a bad bunch. Actually, he's even better than Tanganga. Really? Is he better than Tanganga defensively?
Yeah,
No, come on.
Hold on now, Callum. What are you drinking? What is in that drink? Tell me what's in that drink.
Bro,
Seriously, man. Come on now.
It was an espresso martini.
It's gone now, but
Maybe
why
the
did you
reason.
do? You can't do Romero like that. Not compared to
No, but the thing is,
Tanganga. I'm
people
not
are going
having
to
none
get
of
me
that.
wrong, and I'm going to be branded as that negative Spurs fan. It's not that. I like Romero. Big him up. He's definitely improved our defense a little bit, and under Conte for the season, he's only going to get better. But man,
Okay.
are too quick to just jump on him like, yeah, best centre back ever. He's going to be the next Jan Vertonghen. Relax.
Okay, let me just a
Okay.
little bit on. Let me get a little bit on Romero. So I think at the moment in a back three, I think Conte will probably move him at some point into the center. The reason I say that is he's aggressive. So if you play him on the right or the left hand side, because we play wing backs, the space is always going to be there. So when counter attacks happen, he's the one that's got to come across to make any interceptions, tackles. That's why he got the the 2 yellows in the game against who was it? He got sent off. Was it West Ham? Can't remember the game he got sent off.
The Vitesse game.
Vitesse game, yeah. So he's so aggressive that if he plays anything other than the central area in a back three, he's going to make challenges, which is going to give him that opportunity to get yellow cards and red cards. I think if you play him centrally, he can bring the ball up because I've seen him doing that. He's also got a decent pass. I'm not saying he's, you know what I mean? I'm saying he's not an old Christian Eriksen, but he's certainly got a little bit of a range like Alderweireld had for us. And I do believe centrally that's where he should be. Now we just got to get the right and left hand side sorted out. We can do that with Tanganga, possibly with Sanchez.
Right centre back.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I want to see him at centre back as well. Like I've only seen it a few times, and he's done quite well with it.
He's done well when he's played right back, and the only way people are criticising him is say, "Oh, he's better at centre back," or "He's better at right back." Right centre back, it's a perfect position.
Ideal position.
Perfect position for him.
He was playing well till he got moved from right back to centre back, and that's when he got the red card, I believe. When he played centre back, I think Emerson played on the right. He got twisted up by Zaha, that Crystal Palace game.
I think that was just down to immaturity and lack of experience. Zaha gets him. I don't think it's nothing to do with his footballing ability, but people doubt that he's good going forward. So play him right centre back. He ain't got to go forward. He can hold his position. He's in between right back and centre back. Just defend. Do what you're good at.
But did you not see what Ben Davies was doing as left-sided centre back? He was getting into the box. He had a couple of shots.
He was actually quite decent.
I never want to see that again.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm with Callaway.
No, because that shot was going out for a
bloody
throw-in.
hell.
That shot was going out for a throw-in. People think, he passed it to Kane or whatever. Watch it back. He had a shot and it was going out for a throw-in. Davies, with respect, I don't want to see you in the box, fam.
Yeah.
I want to see you in our box, not their box.
Not their box. It's just one of them new manager things. They try players that you don't want to be seeing, and then before they know it, they're back seeing what the fans see, and then they're out of the team. He just needs to get that whole idea of Ben Davies being competent at left centre back out of his head.
But if that's the system he wants to play, he's the best left-sided centre back, isn't he? That's what he's got available.
He's the only left-footed centre back we have.
Yeah, the only.
He's the only left-footed one, but Rodon played left centre back for Swansea when he was at Swansea. That's where he played. That was his position. He was left, and he plays that for Wales as well. That's where he plays. So again, they play in the back three. He plays just off the left side.
I always forget about Rodon. You know,
everybody's forgot about Rodon. You know what I mean? Everybody's forgot about him.
Yeah,
he's a forgettable guy. All now his brother's more prolific on Twitter.
Yeah,
his brother Sam Rodon. I see him on my time all the time. I don't follow him.
No, that's crazy, man. In training, he must be pulling off stink upon stinker.
He must be terrible because he does not get a look in at all.
Not even in conference, yeah.
Yeah, it's mad.
Imagine that. But boy, what would you guys say are Conte's best system and best 11 is? Because obviously we know he's still trying to figure out. It's 2 games in, but what would you guys say from back to front? I'd probably go Tanganga, Romero, Emerson. I do want to see Sessegnon soon, by the way, and
I don't want to see
Reguilon. I need to see something, man. 2.5 years, I haven't seen nothing.
Nah, the guy's not.
That's exactly the point.
You've never seen
nothing. And if anything, a left, it's true. If anything, a left wing back would suit him probably most.
I don't know what suits that guy. I don't know what suits
Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
I see him get a couple lucky goals and that. Yeah, play him left wing back in it. Let him try a thing.
Yeah, I think the clubs. My personal belief is I think the step's been too big for him. You know, he's 21. He's not. If you look at his character, and I've seen a few little things in documentaries and
He
stuff.
is lovely.
He's a lovely guy, very quiet, very reserved. He's not
yeah.
bullish. He's not one of them guys that's going to be. And for that reason, you can easily get lost in a team like Spurs, in a club like Spurs, where you've got a lot of egos there. You know what I mean? So if you can't, Roy Keane talks about it all the time. Characters. You've got to have character to be top level baller. If you don't have that character, you've got to have exceptional skill, and he ain't got neither.
So would you sell him then? Because we've loaned him out a couple of times now. I mean, do we just cut our losses with Sessegnon, or do we just
personally,
give him a chance?
I'd sell him.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. Why is he on the wage bill? For what?
I want to see him given a chance, man. I really do. 100%.
You know what? In the Conference League, play him left wing back. Why not?
Yeah, it's true. Let's play him in his actual best, so-called best position, and see how he does.
But we've given him a chance and he's never taken it. So
I don't think we have at wing back, have we? We always play him at left back.
No,
I don't think he's
But even the games he's played, he's been bombing forwards freely anyway, as if he's been told that he can do that. He's still not looked at doing it. So. Yeah. Give him a 1-2 more chance and then we cut ties, I reckon.
Wow. How many players would we have left if Callum was manager?
None of these men would be here, bro. They'll be like
would be gone.
We'd be joining a 5-a-side league if it was up to me. I would take us at the Prem. We'll be joining a 5-a-side league at goals because we ain't got 11 players worthy of starting.
Big fact.
No, I agree.
Carl, just quickly, what's your opinion on Bergwijn?
Boy,
He needs to go, bro. He should have gone last week, yesterday. If he leaves in January, it's too soon. I mean, it's too late. It's too late. We needed to have gone. What's he doing here?
I have to agree with Callum there.
What's he doing?
I don't know how he's been picked for Netherlands. I'm shocked.
I think it's because Bergwijn.
No, but that's because the other winger was stabbing, man. Quincy Promise. He was Quincy Promise was a legend. Man. No wonder Bergwijn's in the team.
I'm gonna give Bergwijn this one more chance. One more chance. Stop. You know what? You know why? No, hold on. Because if his end product, he don't score goals. He don't really create much. I know that, but he can. Hold on, let me finish, Cal. I know you're gonna mash me up. You're gonna break my argument down, but let me just finish it. What he does. If you watch some of the games, he does stretch. He seems to be able to stretch in behind. He seems to be able to create that running in behind, which sometimes you do need. Lucas Moura, for me, has that, but again, he's too much like this all over the place. He's like a whirlwind sort of thing. Whereas if you watch Bergwijn, his end product's not good. That could be improved. But he's what, 22, 23? I just think maybe a half a season with Conte just to see whether or not he can get anything out of him.
Honestly, do you want to make Conte bored again? Honestly, with Bergwijn in front of goal.
Hey, Sam, how do you feel about Bergwijn right wing back?
Oh, that's a good shout, you know. That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Yeah, Moses kind of thing.
And I can see that working. You know why? Because he's tenacious.
He's not bad defensively.
He works back. That's what I was just saying. That's part of his game.
Yeah.
But that's why Jose played him. Because he used to get back and he would always track back. And his engine is when he's fit, his engine is really good. And he can go the other way. He's a very quick player. But some people say he's the quickest slow player they've ever seen because he looks like he's running quickly.
Yes.
That's accurate.
Yes. I remember on views from the Skywalk. I think it was Ash was trying to tell me, Bergwijn, quick. He's not quick, bro. He's not fast.
He looks quick, but he's not actually that rapid.
Yeah, he's not actually quick. He's not actually quick. The last thing I'll say about him is his chain is brighter than his future. The SB23 bust down is brighter than his future. He's very
drippy.
He's drippy. He's Christian Dior stuff that he came and signed up with. I love that.
Yeah. No, do you know what? At wing back, I actually like that. That's getting me excited. I think Conte should try that. See.
Well, right wing back though, yeah?
Yeah, right wing back, yeah.
He's got to try it right wing back because otherwise we're going to be left with what? Doherty as the next choice. Possibly he's right wing back.
He can cross better than Emerson as well. I'll give him that.
What, Doherty?
No, Bergwijn.
I was going to say Doherty. He has to go. That's one brother that is not too soon. If they said to him, you can go tomorrow, I'm going to go with him and take him to the station, drop him off. See you later, man. Fine.
I feel like in January, Patricio and Conte have to work very closely together. They've got to really establish who they're letting go of and who they're bringing in. In terms of, I feel like the clear ones are obviously would like to see Dele go, but I'm hearing talks about him he's going to get a chance or something like that.
God.
And
I
people
expect
like
it though. I expect everyone to get a chance.
yeah.
Like, I hear
True.
it.
It's a fresh start.
How many times with Dele? How many times with Winks?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's gonna come good.
agree.
But I expect the new manager to come in and try every player he wants to try in whatever position he sees fit for them. Doesn't mean it's gonna work, but I expect them to try.
Not Dele. I've said this before again.
Yeah.
I see him on one thing where he was like doing this gaming thing. And when I saw him in them brown trousers, I said, nah, he's got to go. He's got to go for that. Them brown tan trousers he had on. Cut ties now. Done. Let's go. Move on.
Yeah. I agree,
feel like we've got too many footballers playing, just living lifestyle at this point. Bergwijn, Dele, it's a joke. But
man said Dele's a midfield Bellerin.
Who said?
He is, you know, he is, man.
Just a fashion.
At least he's not vegan as well. Big up the vegans, though, innit? Big up the vegans.
Midfield Bellerin, that's harsh again. That's cold as hell, man. No, it's just cold as hell, man. That's cold as hell.
Where these players been the last 2 years, bro? They can take a bit of criticism.
Shocking.
Man are too nice to our players.
Oh, gosh.
But who would you guys like to see come in potentially? I know we definitely need another striker.
We need a striker. That for me is key because let's be honest, if we had a competent striker, Kane wouldn't be playing. These managers could actually drop him for his poor performances, but because we don't have anyone else, and we've got my son Dane Scarlett, he's not going to lead the line, is he? He's too young. He needs a bit of time to develop as a player. So that for me is key. I need to see a striker in January. Whether we get that, I can't pronounce his name. Is it Vlahovic? Vlahovic. I mean, that's going to be a difficult one because I hear he's quite expensive. So I don't know if we'll get him because I even saw that he was linked with Arsenal the other day. So, but I think we need a striker personally. Because what if? Yeah, go on. Sorry. Go on, no, because I was going to say, like, what if Kane gets injured as well? I mean, that's always a possibility. But I don't know. Even now, that might not even be a bad thing. But yeah, I think we need a striker and another defender for me.
100%.
So I look at it, and again, I go back to the beginning of the season in pre-season with Nuno when we all thought Kane was gone, and he played the front three, which had Son in there. I would personally, I'd like to see Son in that central position where you can operate like how Liverpool with the front three, very fluid, dynamic front three, with players who've got movement but are able to stretch defenses going the other way. All the players at Liverpool, they stretch them. So Jota, when he comes in, he can do that. Salah, obviously, Mane does that. And they've got this intricate way of playing. I think if you had someone like Son in there, now the only problem is, who would you then play right and left of that if it was going to be Son? You could argue it could be someone like Moore on one side, possibly Bergwijn. But then we're struggling for actual real talent. I really like the look of Gil. But I don't know if someone like Conte is going to fancy him. I just don't think he's going to fancy that type of player.
I think he'll get eaten alive, Gil. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see him as being a Conte player.
Be interesting to see that. Just going back to that striker point, I know we've got the funds there available because we put in a bid for we put in a bid for Martinez, isn't it? So there's money there. It's just about it needs to be spent. It needs to be invested, not in the summer now. I don't know who's going to come at this point in January, but something needs to give. You know, one thing that did quite make me quite happy about Conte coming in is the fact that he has to get backed. You can't bring in a manager like Conte and not back him, right? So there's funds there available. I don't feel like that's an issue. It's just about reinforcements. I don't feel like we have a B team. The B team's not competent. I feel like Mourinho knew that. I feel like Nuno knew that. And I feel like Conte is going to find that out. We've only got a starting 11. So I need to see reinforcements and players that are good enough to kick some of our starting 11 players, such as Dyer, to the bench and add that depth. But it'd be interesting to see, definitely.
I think January is always difficult, though, because you don't typically see a lot of teams busy in January. But I actually think you'll see a lot of that this season, to be honest. But on the whole Conte thing as well, I think what's good about Conte is he will attract good players as well. Because that was my worry with Nuno. Like, he's not a manager, let's be honest. I don't think players are that inspired by Nuno. He's not a manager that's going to get players right. I need to sign for Spurs, especially the position we're in. We're not challenging for any Champions League. We're not in the Champions League. So to have a manager like Conte, I think we can get some really good players in, hopefully, in January. Oh, he's gone.
Oh, the host is
But
gone. That's
he's
That's gonna
gone.
be hard. So we're gonna take this. Let's do the
I
takeover
know.
then. Let's do
I
the show
know.
takeover. For me, Conte then. I think if all the reports Indigo, you have to take a little bit of pinch of salt. I think I believe in what Conte says. I think Conte wanted to take a bit of a break once he finished at Inter Milan. I think he just wanted to have a little bit of time out, and maybe the Spurs board were keeping tabs on him and we're just waiting for that right moment for Nuno to F up, which he was going to do, and he F'd up quicker than I thought, so get rid of him. I think Conte's been able to see enough, like what we do as fans, to watch these players and say, that player's not good enough. That player, I can see what I can possibly do. So I think he's already got in his head with the players that he's got. He's going to want to still bring in certain players, but I just don't think we're going to do that in January. I think we're going to have to probably wait till the summertime to really look at the big players that we're maybe going to get, because it's always hard in January to get the players, particularly if you want to get the level of player that we want to have, that we need. How are you going to get there in January? It's not going to be very easy. So I just think we've got to maybe
make it happen though. I think it's needed desperately.
But then you're gonna have to overspend. You always have to overspend in January, and I don't see Daniel Levy doing that.
But you know what I'm not loving right now, and big up all the Italian hype. We got Conte and then Paratici and then man. But every single one of our transfer targets are from the Italian league. It's like why are we only shopping in one shop? I've got the Spanish league there, the Premier League. There are other avenues to attract players, and we're only shopping in the Italian league because our director of football and our manager is Italian. It's like on career mode when you've only got enough bread to send one scout to one country, and the more time you pick the Prem because you want the young English ballers, they just send the scout to Italy, and that's all they're looking for. I don't love that, Broaden your horizons, bro. There's players everywhere.
It's true, because we were linked with, like, I saw all the names, like
Messi, De Vrij, these are good players. Don't get me wrong, these are good players. But if they fall through, what are we going to go for? Second backup options in the same league because that's all them man know. I don't get it, but there's other leagues out there.
You're right, Callum, 100%. One person I was fuming at, I've wanted for years, was Danny Ings. I would have loved Danny Ings at Tottenham.
Oh, why did we not sign Danny Ings?
Do you get what I'm saying? And we were linked with him for so long. When Aston Villa, that day, I remember that morning so vividly. I woke up and I saw Danny Ings had gone Villa out of nowhere. I was fuming.
Even Edward at Crystal Palace. We could
the thing is, what's attractive about Villa? I've lived in Aston. Meaty over there. There's not much things that's attractive about going to Aston Villa over Spurs. We got a training ground, new stadium. Come here, Ings. Why would you not want to?
But I guess he just probably thinks he's first choice at Villa, isn't he? Pretty much.
Yeah, but Kane gets injured for 8 weeks. You can shine. You can shine in that time.
I think with Danny Ings, though, he's 29, 30. He was going to make a move. He wants to play all the time. It's hard to get a player like that, any player to come to Spurs that's going to think, you know what, if Harry Kane's fit, I ain't going to play as much. Unless they can get him in a 2. That would have been exciting for me if they could have played Harry Kane and Danny Ings together. And that could be a possibility now with the managers that we got him playing the 3 at the back. But I don't think it was a possibility when we were playing 4. So that's the reason I don't think he came to Spurs.
But don't you think, though, Sam, we need to change that culture at Spurs for me? The idea that, players don't want to come because they think, Kane's just going to play. Like, that's the issue for me. Like,
it's
Kane really and truly, it's hindering us. Like, we need to be able to get another striker and convince him to come because he does have an opportunity to play. It's not, you're going to come and be backup. Like, I just question what are we actually saying to these strikers? Is it the way that we're phrasing it? That's why they're not coming. Like, we're basically saying, you're just going to be someone that's on the bench. When Kane gets injured, you'll play. And I just think, no, scrap all of that. He's still top choice.
So this is where, for me, this is where you look at certain teams where they've got goal scorers as opposed to strikers. Mane, Firmino, Salah, Liverpool, Jota, Liverpool. Them guys score goals, but they're not necessarily a striker. Do you know what I mean? So if you're going to play a player that he's got a little bit of an option to play elsewhere, the problem we've got is we've got the likes of Bergwijn and Moura who don't score goals. If they scored goals, we wouldn't be talking about this right now, but they don't score goals. So we're relying on Son and we're relying on Kane for those reasons. You get players that can score goals from those positions, you can rotate your team. Kane's not having a good game, drop him. You could put Son in there and then have the other ones that could do. So we need to be smarter in the market, look for players who score goals and they can fit into different systems and in different positions in that team. That's what I think we should be doing.
100%.
You're right. That right wing spot is an issue, man. Like, obviously when Son's performing, but
Bring back
the
Lennon.
right wing. Bring back Lennon. Right.
Bring
Time
him
to
back,
end the show. Time to end the show.
Callum, you're right.
Callum's killed
You know
it
what?
today, bro. I'm telling
Bring
you.
back Chadley. Bring
Murdered
back
it.
Chadley.
Chadley,
Where's
are
the
you
The thing
Anderlecht?
is,
Where's the
joking?
Anderlecht?
we
Bring
had
him back.
Bale last season. The addition of Bale was nice.
Yeah,
You know?
and Vinicius. We've actually
Yeah.
missed a lot of goals. They scored
And we haven't
what is it,
replaced it.
26 between them, I think.
Mm.
Like Bale, I know people thought he was a flop and everything, but he actually bagged
Put
a
up
few
numbers.
goals for
Yeah,
us.
you got like what 10 Premier League goals.
Yeah,
More
Not
than
many games.
Aubameyang.
He's done his
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So to then get rid of that and Vinicius, who look, I know he didn't cut the mustard, but he still scored goals for us as well in the Europa League. You know, we're missing out on a lot of goals. No wonder why it's
100%.
dried up a bit. But anyway,
That's a good point, actually, Tanya. If you think of it, Vinicius wasn't there. Kane's not putting up them silly numbers he put up last season. He'd have to play all those games.
that's what I'm
Probably
saying.
got
Exactly.
injured.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay, guys, we'll wrap it up. Just finally, we've got Leeds at home just after the international break.
God.
What's you guys' predictions for that? Leeds aren't in the best of form.
Oh, you go first, Sam.
I think that's a game where Conte will have had 2 weeks. No, I know not all the players are going to be there for him to prepare with. He's got 2 weeks. He's an intelligent man. He'll get it right. I don't think Leeds. You know what you're going to get with Leeds, so you can tactically set up for Leeds. They will leave you spaces. The way that I've seen us build up play, the way we've building up play to the final third, I think we'll get lots and lots of opportunity to score goals. It's now whether we can put them away. I think it will be a win for us, and I think it's going to be pretty much a high scoring game for us. I can see a 3-1. I always think we're going to concede because we always concede goals, don't we? Apart from the last way.
Yeah.
I mean, Leeds, they're very open, aren't they? Like you're always going to bag goals against Leeds.
Yeah, facts.
So
100%.
yeah, I don't think you're wrong to think we're going to win. My only concern is I think Leeds are starting to get into a bit of form because I know they've been like quite poor this season, but I know they had a draw with Leicester. Who are meant to be like quite a good side, and I know they beat Norwich, but obviously that's not, Norwich are poor. But we should really be beating Leeds. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 though. I'm not gonna go for a 3-1. I'm not that confident because we can't score goals right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1.
Yeah, I reckon it's a guaranteed 3 points. I can see us winning.
Guaranteed.
Like you say, guaranteed.
At home as well.
Confident. Yeah, like you say, Leeds leave a lot of spaces open. I can see Conte working a lot on going forward because he must have seen the stats. He knows we ain't been creating a lot of chances and we've not had a lot of shots on goal. That's something he's going to be looking to change over the next 2 weeks if he has any sense, which we know he does. So yeah, I can't see anything less than a win. I'm not going to predict scores because I know we'll leak a couple goals. Maybe a 3-2, but yeah, definitely a win.
Okay, cool. But everyone's back in the win, yeah? That's nice. Guys, once again, thank you very much for jumping on. Very, very much appreciated. And guys, make sure to follow their socials as well. We'll be looking forward to having them on very shortly. But that's it for today, Take care.